The sustain pedal on a keyboard or a piano. Now, on a keyboard, it's a pedal that's plugged into the back of the keyboard usually in a slot that says sustain or pedal. And on a piano, if you're sitting down at your piano and you're looking at the pedals, normally pianos have 3 pedals, and the one to the farthest right-hand side is called a sustain pedal. And what this means is, simply put, it sustains a sound. In other words, it makes the sound last longer or stay with us longer. So if I was to find my middle C on the keyboard or the piano and just press it without pushing down on the sustain pedal, this is what we would hear. Listen, when you see, that's me pressing down the middle C, and when I let go, listen to how long you hear the middle C without the sustain pedal. Watch. You see how it just kind of, when I let go of the note, it goes away quickly, right? Now, if I put my foot onto the pedal, watch what happens when I let go. There's my C, and I let go, and you still hear it, and you still hear it, and you still hear it, and it fades away. That's because the note is being sustained. So, let's keep simple terms. Sustain means to let it last longer, and whenever you push down on the pedal and you press a key while the pedal is pushed down, it sustains the note. The note lasts longer. The sound stays there longer. If I was going to play a chord, here are our 3 notes for D major, D, F sharp, and A. So if I have the sustain pedal held down and I press these notes and I let go, you still hear the chord, see? Now, just a side note quickly, if you want to learn more about how to play chord music and how to read chord music and how simple it is, because it is very simple, please go to piano4learners.com and you spell that out, piano, F-O-R, learners.com, and there's a workbook there you can get and some other free exercises, or if you're a student, a member of the website, you can look at all the exercises that have been created so far. So back to the sustain pedal. Now, a quick side note for the sustain pedal. If you have a keyboard and you turn on the power of your keyboard and you have your foot on the sustain pedal, it actually works in reverse a lot of times, so be careful of that. And so basically, when you're at a keyboard, not a regular piano, and you push your start button to turn the power on to your keyboard, just make sure you're not stepping on the sustain pedal when you turn the power on. After it's on and you can make sounds, then go ahead and use the pedal. It should work fine. In case that's happened to you, I know it's happened to me before. So now I want to use a song for an example, and the song I would like to use is a song called Wounded Soldier. And the way this works is when you use the sustain pedal when you want the sound to last longer. So let's say I'm going to, in this song, if you go ahead and print out the PDF file for Wounded Soldier, for the sample PDF for the sustain pedal, first thing you do, as taught in the workbook, write out the chord progression, which is going to be D, A, G, A, D. Those are all major chords. Anyway, and we're going to practice playing the chords in that sequence, in that order. That is a progression. And so D. Okay, so my right hand, that's my D major chord. My left hand, I'm going to play this D over here with my left thumb. Okay, so that's my D. And then my A major chord. Now, if I learned from the workbook, I know that that's an A major, but I don't have to play those keys in the same order that they're in right here to still be an A major. So for my D, the easiest way for me to play an A major is actually, I'm going to take this note, and I'm going to put them to the other side of my D. So here's my A, and I'll play this and this, see? That's my A major chord. I just moved these notes over to this side, and I kept my pinky from my right hand on the A. So here's my D, and there's my A. Remember, my left thumb was here. I'm going to play the A over here with my ring finger, actually, on my left hand. So here's my D, A, okay? And then G, right? All I've done is taken my G and I've moved this over to here where my thumb was from the D major anyway. So there's D and now A and now G, and over here I'm playing a G with my left pinky. Okay, so D, A, G, A, D. And that's the order that I come up with when I just look at the chord music for the song and I write out the order of the chords, okay? Now, as far as the sustain pedal, okay, back to the sustain pedal. What's the big deal here? Well, if I just keep my foot on the pedal and I play those chords in that order, listen to what happens. All right, D, and A, and G, and A, and D. You see how everything kind of blends and crashes together and you know, it's kind of muddy. And if you want to do that sound, if you like it, then use it. Nothing wrong with that. But basically what will normally happen is you'll play a chord and then you'll lift off of the pedal. See what happens when you lift off the pedal? So here's my D, and when I lift off the pedal, it fades away quick, okay? Right? So that was me lifting off the pedal. Now when you're looking at your monitor right now, at the animated keyboard there, you see I just briefly, I hit the chords and I let go, but you still hear the sound. That's because of the sustain pedal. Watch what happens if I don't have the sustain pedal. See? For me to get that same sound without a sustain pedal, I can try if I want to keep the keys pressed down. See? And that can almost emulate having a sustain pedal, except it takes a little more work for me. And if I'm just learning how to play chord music and I need to find the keys and everything, actually if I have a sustain pedal I can do this. Watch. And now I can find the keys, and when I'm ready, I let go of the sustain pedal, I push back down on it, and then I press the next chord, see? That was just really quick. So here's my D, I find my A, I lift off, and I push back down on the sustain pedal. You see how that works? Okay, so other words, I have one chord, I want to go to the next chord. First thing, I get off the pedal, and then I step back down, and then I play the next chord. Right? So D, step off, step on, next chord. I hope that makes sense. So watch this. I'm going to play, here's with everything and keeping the pedal down, the muddy sound. Ready? D, A, G, A, D. Okay. Now, I'm going to step off the sustain pedal every time I want the chord to end. So, it's just a lot more cleaner, see? I hope that makes sense. Now, the song itself, it goes like this. I am a wounded soldier, but I will not leave the fight, because the great physician is healing me. So I'm standing in the battle, in the armor of His light, because His mighty power is real in me. Okay? Now that was using the sustain pedal. Watch if I don't use the sustain pedal. If I want a sustained sound, I actually have to keep the keys pressed down. So it'd be like, I am a wounded soldier, but I will not leave the fight, because the great physician is healing me. Right? Now, what if I don't hold the keys down and I don't use the sustain pedal? Listen again. I am a wounded soldier, but I will not leave the fight, because the great physician is healing me. And you might want that sound, but maybe, what if I did it this way? I'm going to use the sustain pedal for the first two parts, and then I'm going to lay off of it on the latter part. So, I am a wounded soldier, but I will not leave the fight, because the great physician is healing me. See? The main goal here was just to give you an idea about the sustain pedal, what it's for, how to use it, and hopefully you see now.